The Samsung Odyssey G9, Samsung Odyssey G9 Neo, and the newly announced Samsung Odyssey Ark are three of the Samsung's B7 Monitor 1000R curvature premium monitor lineups. Their prices varies greatly, and if you're wondering if the Samsung Odyssey G9 is still worth it in 2022, being the cheapest of them three, then stick around as I'm going to tell you why personally I think the Samsung Odyssey G9 is still the best value for money. This video is quite detailed, so as always, I have timestamps for you. The Samsung Odyssey G9 was released on June of 2020 and it was priced at $1,600. You can now get it for $1,200 or sometimes even cheaper. The Samsung Odyssey G9 Neo was released on July of last year. The price upon release was $2,500 and it is currently priced at $2,000. And the Samsung Odyssey Ark was recently announced during the CES 2022. Samsung have not made any official announcements just yet as to how much it will cost. Rumor has it will be $2,500. I personally think that it's going to be more than that because that is the same price as the G9 Neo when it was announced, and real estate wise and specs wise the G9 Ark has a lot more to offer. So to be honest, I think this would be most likely around $3,500. The Samsung Odyssey G9 is a 49-inch 1000R curvature monitor. The resolution is 5120 by 1440, which isn't 4K but close. It features Samsung's QLED display technology where blacks are blacker and colors are 125% more vivid compared to the sRGB. The Samsung Odyssey G9 is also HDR100, meaning there are more details in every frame. It also features G-Sync and FreeSync Premium Pro support, which basically lets the G9 match every frame from your graphic cards for that ultimate gaming experience. It is capable of up to 240Hz refresh rate and the fast 1 millisecond response time. The Samsung Odyssey G9 Neo is also a 49-inch 1000R curvature monitor. The resolution is also 5120 by 1440. The Samsung Odyssey G9 Neo is a quantum mini LED monitor, and that is definitely its biggest selling point. It is Quantum HDR 2000, which is one of the highest levels available in gaming monitor technology at present, so it has an exquisite level of brightness, letting you see the smallest of detail in every scene. Just like the G9, the G9 Neo also features G-Sync and FreeSync Pro support, and the refresh rate is also up to 240Hz, and it also features the 1 millisecond response time. The Samsung Odyssey Ark is quite different but still similar in some areas compared to the G9 and the G9 Neo. Samsung have not released any formal announcements regarding the specs, release date and price. However, what we know so far is that it is a 55-inch, also a 1000R curvature monitor. It has a 4K resolution and a height adjustable stand, and the orientation can be changed from landscape to portrait. We also know that the G9 Ark will come with its own wireless controller with a dial interface. I personally consider the price or cost to be an issue when choosing which monitor is right for me, as what you have seen based on the specs. The main and only gain if I was to upgrade to the G9 Neo is the Quantum Mini LED display and HDR 2000. The display of my Samsung Odyssey G9 is already truly gorgeous, vivid and sharp. It is more than enough for my heaviest task, which is editing 4K videos alongside other things. If I was to buy either the G9 or the G9 Neo brand new at this point, the G9 is $800 cheaper. I think the G9 is already a beast of a monitor, and I can't really justify an extra $800 for the Quantum Mini LED version. Apart from that, as you may know, I now own this G9 for over a year. I have made a long-term 2 months review mentioning about the issue that I have with this monitor, and this is like a follow-up to that 10 months later. I will link the video down below so you can watch it later if you like, as it is a bit more thorough and this is just a quick run through. The issues are pretty much still the same. I still have one dead pixel, which I don't really notice on a daily basis, and I do have a hard time finding it. The flicker is still happening, I would say about 2 to 3 times a week considering daily use. The flickering episode would last for about a minute or so, and my firmware is up to date. The RGB light at the back, as expected, have not changed at all. It's still not bright enough, and the popping sound does occur every single day after a few minutes of turning on the monitor. As I always have a background music or I am editing videos, so there's always background noise, this is something that doesn't bother me. And lastly, the lack of built-in speakers for its price. I mean, you can buy cheaper monitors with a built-in speaker, so I think that ask is reasonable. I know some G9 users don't necessarily have the same issues as mine. When it comes to the G9 Neo, the RGB light seems to be similar. We know for a fact that there's no built-in speakers, and I have heard mixed reviews about some owners experiencing flicker and popping sound and some don't. The biggest difference between the Samsung Odyssey G9 and the Samsung Odyssey G9 Neo is the display. The G9 Neo's Quantum Mini LED. Design-wise, they are absolutely identical. The Samsung Odyssey Ark is confirmed to be 4K, very different in design as it can be in portrait or landscape mode, and it is much bigger at 55-inch, but still features the 1000 R curvature. At the end of the day, all these three monitors are definitely super nice and helpful to have, whether you are going to use it for productivity or leisure. Before choosing which one will suit your needs better, you will have to consider other costs, just like possibly a new table, as your existing table may not be big enough to house this monitor. You will also need a USB-C cable if you're a Mac user, just like myself. As we have mentioned that both the G9 and the G9 Neo doesn't have speakers, that is something that you may need to purchase in addition. And lastly, the biggest consideration is your machine. I personally would spend more money towards a more powerful computer over a nice fancy monitor. Even though the G9 is the cheapest of them three, it still costs a lot of money. I would love to know what you will choose, and if you'd like to know how a bigger monitor increases productivity, then check out this video.